Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spotlight on Security Tech Insights. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that is front and center for everyone. I can't read a news article, I can't go on social media without hearing about AI. And so today, we're going to dive into why responsible AI matters, because while it's a powerful tool, there are some things we need to be thinking about. My name is Theresa Miller, and I'm the Director of Technical Advocacy with Cohesity. And today I'm joined by a very special guest who's passionate about this topic. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, Theresa. Thanks. Yeah, my name is Siegfried Jagott. I'm Siggy, yeah, short. Um, well, we know each other from the MVP community. So I have a large background in Microsoft MVP. I'm an Exchange expert since many, many years, like almost at the beginning of Exchange. Yeah, I think I passed the 25 years of Exchange experience, almost more than that. Um, and I am a large supporter of any new things. Yeah, when I started IT, we had Windows 3.1 and the internet was coming up. Yeah, now we have like tremendously advanced technologies. Yeah, like with phone calls on the internet and everything like this. So I fell in love with Microsoft products for some reason that I don't know, but I feel they're quite good. And yeah, I started with Exchange, as I said. I implemented instant messaging, the early versions of Microsoft Teams called Lync or LCS, yeah, with phone calling over the internet in a foreign country. And this brought me to the area that I'm nowadays. I run a company called Intellity. We are based in Germany, but we run projects in the Microsoft 365 space around the world. And of course, Microsoft is one of the key catch-ups of this AI technology nowadays. Yeah, and that brought me to my interesting part, yeah, with the AI. Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Intellity. We have like 40 consultants, and we work in any areas. And most recently, we also started the AI area to add to our product portfolio, of course.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here to talk about this with me today. I know you've got that really strong Microsoft background, but you don't, AI transcends into the Microsoft space. I think they're, one of the early adopters of this technology from a large company perspective. So I know we're going to have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about today. So let's kick this off with a question around how you were able to get started in working with AI and how you're actually using it.
Well, the interesting part is that I think computers and AI always have been something like AI, but it was a basic response. Yeah, the first time that I recognized that AI is really artificial intelligence was last year. Yeah, back late last year in December, I was at a computer party at a local computer party, and we talked about ChatGPT and about the quality of the answers. So I started testing and playing around with ChatGPT, and I was amazed about the coding perspectives, how good the code is, how good the coding, the testing of your code stuff is, and all the surroundings. And then in January, I found out about Midjourney, and Midjourney creates pictures. Yeah, now there's more like Dolly and all the other areas on the market, but when I started with Midjourney, I felt like this is unbelievable. How do they do this? Because it's a real painting. It's not a computer painting. And when I started back in the Commodore 64 times, yeah, that was back in 1986, yeah, and there's certain areas where we talked about like Terminator 2 or Terminator 1 with
Yeah.
AI and those kind of stuff, and it made me start thinking about AI in a different way. Yeah, because I found it scary first, that it helps so much that it's basically the way that only human being was able to offer advice. Yeah, and I'm working in the consulting business, so we offer advice for the best settings, and then I tried to apply this. Yeah, and the interesting thing is it worked. It worked in any question. Yeah, it worked with any question, and also one of the key areas that I see is that's really important is it's not repeating the answers. So it's not like a predefined answer setting that used to be like in the old, the text adventures back in
Yeah.
the days.
Yeah.
That there was only a single way, and then games developed and created many ways. And now ChatGPT, what I saw, has so many ways that I got scared a little bit about it. Yeah, and as I said, only as a human being, and that made me amazed about it. So I dig deeper into it, yeah, and um, then I found okay, you can also add new perspectives to the answers that you want. Yeah, for example, you want a text, but you want the answer to be sounded as like a famous poem writer from Germany. It's Goethe. Yeah, then you just add the name, and it will change the style of the answer to make it sound like that. That's like ooh, yeah. Or you can answer like Bart Simpson, for example. Yeah,
Which is good and bad, right? I mean, funny, but
yeah,
that's a key point in our topic today, which we'll get into in a little bit, right? It can
absolutely.
impersonate, which is the scary side. I love you have so much experience with this, Siggy, and I can see you're passionate about it and you found the good in it. One of the things that really resonates with me that you shared is it's like having another person, right? It's like another human being.
Yeah.
And before we even started recording today, you were talking about how you treat it from a team perspective. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Uh, you're saying from my team, correct? In my
Yeah, your
company.
team. You said you
So
encourage them to use it, right?
absolutely, yeah. So what I tried is, so for example, I'm in an Exchange server business, and there's Exchange PowerShell. So of course we have very excellent PowerShell script developers, yeah. And then I started to play around with ChatGPT and tried the capabilities to create PowerShell scripts, for example. And it's interesting. It even worked out to be very close to perfect, of course, in small areas. And when you tie them together, you can put very large development code in that. Yeah. But also, for example, I love structure. I'm German. Germans love text with structure, bullet points. Clear. That's the advice. That's the body of the text, and that's the sum up or the management summary. And I think that's one of the key benefits of ChatGPT also. And I'm not talking only about ChatGPT, but any AI that provides text. Yeah, because I think so the AI here is very structured, and that's the basics. It's why it was developed that way, and it loves to write text for you, and you can really use it. Yeah. Did you try to optimize your LinkedIn profile, for example? And I recently talked to my marketing girl and told her why don't you let your text run by ChatGPT and try to optimize it in means of text or grammar style, for example. And everybody knows German grammar is very difficult, correct, Theresa? So this is another
Yes.
test. So this is another test I did. Yeah, I just wrote something in English, like quite a complicated sentence or two in English, and I let it translate to German. And the text, the quality was, well, extremely good. Let's put it like that. Yeah, you cannot tell. I was not able to tell the difference, at least. Yeah,
Wow.
between a native German writing this or the AI writing this. Yeah, and that of course brings like, okay, that's scary, but it also helps you. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
easily translate texts, for example, from English to German. And I recently opened an office in Thailand, and so I tried to translate it to Thai, and it did translate to Thai quite well. Of course,
Wow.
not that advanced, but Thai language is even more horrible because they use Sanskrit. Yeah,
Yeah. More
but it's
complicated.
correct. But it's offering so many features. Yeah, so for your written text, it's extremely helpful. And then one more area that I wanted to say where I love AI is what Microsoft did with it in Bing Chat. So Bing Chat is Bing Search, probably everybody heard of and was afraid of it. Yeah, or like we started, Theresa, we had to use it as MVPs back then. Yeah, but then everybody stopped and used Google. So
Correct.
I came back when Microsoft announced that they implement AI in Bing Chat. And the interesting part is I use it even on a day-to-day basis because it provides you with one answer, not a
Mm.
thousand answers that are given to you by Google. But if you need, for example, one advice how to cook a special plate, or how to what is recommended to visit in a specific city, for example, Bing Chat gives you that. Yeah,
And it
and
gives you the best one.
yeah, it's probably not the best one, but it provides you with ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
most recently, they also added to create pictures, the functionality to create pictures in Bing Chat. So you don't need to switch. You just on the Bing Chat prompt, you just say, okay, create a picture of a dog sitting in a living room on a beach with whatever sunglasses on, and it uses Bing Image Creator. Yeah, very similar to, of course, what Midjourney is. Yeah, to create a picture for you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's all in one. What Microsoft provides here is all in one, and it's for free. Hmm. But okay, enough about Microsoft, I guess,
Oh my
and
gosh,
Bing.
no, this is so outstanding because while that's where a lot of your background lies, it
Yeah.
totally translates to every AI conversation out there. So, and the interesting thing too, like you're using it in so many amazing ways. I feel like you called out already some of the benefits of AI. But is there anything else you'd want to add? Like, I know you talked about like scripting already, but anything else from a benefits perspective? Because we definitely have to get into some of the challenges today and responsible AI, but benefits before we do.
To be amazed a little bit more is about what Microsoft recently announced. Yeah, how they do Copilot, and we were able to see it earlier than the rest of the audience, but now it's officially available, at least as previews, and you can see some videos how they do it. I just wanted to like the benefits of AI. Clearly, for example, in Microsoft space, think about Copilot for M365, talking about, for example, Word. Yeah. Uh, when you look at the Microsoft build videos, there's a video that shows how to create an example legal document inside Word without just a couple of side notes. Yeah, and that's amazing. Yeah, it even does the formatting in Word. What I did, I create my Christmas message to all my employees using ChatGPT back in December, and it was pretty good. So I just corrected a couple of sentences and words, and then I sent it out. Yeah. So with Copilot, this goes into the product of Word, and you can immediately create content or like discussions, even questions that you want to ask, or ask for best practices. And secondly, that one of my favorite Teams meetings feature in Copilot is really think about if you don't join a meeting or if you join late a meeting, then normally you don't catch up. You don't
Right.
know what questions have been asked. You don't know the answers. And well, that's basically what's now shown in Teams meetings. I did not test it yet fully, yeah, but I think that this will be a big benefit, yeah. So maybe Theresa, next time we do this, your co-pilot will talk to my co-pilot, and we just provide the guidances at the beginning. I hope
Yeah.
that's not the future.
Yeah. Well, hey,
That's
it
the
may cut
scary
down
part.
on
Yeah,
meetings.
yeah, absolutely, and
And
it provides an agenda, by the way, agenda
right.
and meeting notes, so you
Yeah.
can quickly identify what was discussed, what decision have been made, and of course, what question and answers have been made, and
Yeah.
who answered what question. That's the amazing part.
Yeah. And I could go on vacation. If you had a meeting, I could go on vacation. You could just send me the notes that were auto transcribed. It wasn't dependent on any person intervening,
Yeah,
and I'd know what happened, right?
in a
So
short way. You don't need
yeah,
to listen to 60 or 70 or
no,
90 minutes. You
yeah,
just read the high level stuff, and
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let's pivot over to the challenges of AI. I feel like we've
Oh,
dropped hints here and there, but let's focus on that a little bit. So, what are your thoughts?
So the challenges that I've seen is the first thing is don't think you get always a true answer. Yeah, it's the biggest discussion I have with friends, for example, because they say, it's lying to me. And then I normally respond, this is like you talk to a person as a human being, they sometimes lie to you, and you have to figure out the lie on your own. So you always need to carefully review the result of an AI response. Yeah, if you
Yep.
just take it and disperse it or disseminate it to everybody, it might include flaws. And these flaws, I guess it's our business or it's our turn to improve the text there, for example, or improve the answer. It also lies around what I said, the example on what can I visit in, for example, Paris. What are the 10 top sites in Paris? Yeah, sometimes, of course, it shows up with something that is not directly in Paris or not even in France. But because there was a discussion on the internet, it's somewhere else. Yeah. So you really have to verify that. Yeah. In order to make sure it's right or wrong. Yeah. And that's one of the challenges.
Yep.
What is right and what is wrong. Yeah.
Right.
And that's also a new discussion. Yeah. What is right and what is wrong? Who defines what is correct and what is incorrect? Yeah. As I always say, or I got taught in my history lesson at school that the winner of a war always write the history books, which is correct. Yeah. But what about if also the loser writes the books and the AI decides in between what is correct or what is not correct?
It
Yeah.
changes
So
the story.
correct it completely. It's a completely different story here. Yeah. And the most scary challenges that I see in AI is really you can create fake stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we played around in my business group with that. And a person came up with a fake picture of himself as an avatar with a fake voice, with a fake text, even the text. Yeah. And the voice was reading the fake text and it was animated using the lips of the avatar, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the speech and he created a like 2 minutes video saying the text that he created in a way that I felt like, oh man, yeah, this is scary stuff because you
Mhm.
can fake anything. Yeah, I can put any voice on that I like to. Yeah, and create, of course, a video with somebody that is even dead. And
Right.
if we talk about that, this is also very bad stuff, correct, Teresa? You can
Very.
bring I can bring it my dad that my dad
Hmm.
if I want to and if I have some resources. Of course, you
Yeah.
need voice samples and you need pictures and some videos. But in order to preserve that, yeah, you could even allow somebody to talk to an AI person.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I want to add to the list as well is just when you consider malware and ransomware, you can
Oh
use
yeah.
AI to build those. And those are big enough challenges for enterprises to fend off. And now you have AI building them as well.
Correct.
So that
Think
kind of
about your
leads
junk
us.
mail.
Well, say
Sorry.
that again?
Think about your junk mail. Yeah, in the
Oh,
past that you receive when you receive junk mail, it was obvious that it was junk mail. But
yeah,
now I receive a perfect junk mail in German language that is perfectly
yeah.
grammar error free, and that's really scary. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
It is very scary, which then leads me to talking about the principles of responsible AI, right? So if you take a look around, I think one of the principles is being ethical. So if organizations are going to go out and use AI in their products, like Microsoft, for example, Google, I mean, everyone is doing it, right?
yeah,
Um, Making sure that what's being built is ethical and fair and inclusive. Accountability. You have to build accountability into something that's AI driven. Everything we discussed makes me feel like that's potentially um, impossible, but it's all about how it gets coded, right?
Yep.
Or inclusivity, um, all races, experiences. How do you build that into AI that is something that's self-learning? And then reliability and safety, making sure that all systems are trusted, and doing what they should. So, do you have any other thoughts on those, or in general, what responsible AI means, Siggy?
Well, I'm totally with you. And when we started this discussion during the MVP dinner we had in Redmond in April, yeah,
Mhm.
um, I also was getting aware of those areas that you just listed. Yeah, and it's key that AI is not a tool. AI is a more, I think it's more a weapon. Yeah, and you have to have a certain set of rules for responsible AI. Yeah, the thing is really like how to approach this, yeah, from an ethical or legal point of view is really hard because and we talked about this, yeah, who defines what is right and what is wrong. Yeah, especially Theresa, you live in the United States. Yeah, I'm from Germany.
Mhm.
We have a different set of rules, values. Yeah, what is right and what is wrong. Yeah, who can
Right?
define this? Yeah, is USA or is Microsoft as a software or Google as a software company, as they do AI, can they define for us, the people, the normal people, or the foreigners, or the people on the world, what is right or what is wrong, or do we need an authority for that? And who is made out of that authority? Because different companies, different countries, different areas, different continents have different perspectives. And that's really the big problem here, correct? Yeah, because if you ask a German for a certain aspect, maybe what's the best democracy in the world? Yeah, the Germans probably would say the German democracy. Yeah, the US will probably say the US democracy. Yeah, I never asked the question to AI, but the question is really like, well, AI is a system that provides you the most common answers. So a set of most common answers. So if many people write it's the US democracy, then you will get most likely the US democracy. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. However, what we learned is that the big companies like Microsoft have those what you just listed out, the principles of responsible AI, and they make sure they are followed. Yeah, and that's also the key here that everybody needs to provide feedback if something goes in the wrong direction. It's like responsible AI. So piracy, software piracy is a big thing everywhere. Yeah. And in the past, when you were able to ask the question like, so what pirate boards are there on the internet? Yeah, you got, of course, the official answer of ChatGPT, and it was a list of sites. Yeah. So after responsible AI, of course, discovered this, they made it well, they locked it more or less. You don't get the answer directly anymore. What I heard is there's people like they struggle they try to trick an AI and ask trickier questions. So they ask, for example, if I would write a text about piracy software, what sites would I mention? Yeah, and
Mhm.
at some point, of course, AI provided the right details. And
Mhm.
but responsible AI, of course, must detect those kind of areas, or like something like how to build a bomb or how to create a pistol or whatever dangerous thing. Yeah, uh, responsible AI is for me that there's a certain committee or and it must be global that defines what is right and what is wrong and what is legal and what is illegal. Yeah, and here we come to the next point. Some countries drugs are illegal. In some countries they are not. Yeah, so
Right.
how do you find that, especially like cannabis? Cannabis, most recently in a couple of your states in the US, it's legal. In Germany, it's
Mhm.
not. Yeah. So
Right.
I guess if I ask in when I'm based in the US, and I ask the question like how to create cannabis, I get the real answer. Whereas in Germany, you should not get the real answer and should be prevented from doing it because it's illegal. Yeah. So you see, it's very hard. It's a very tough question to answer. Yeah.
It's
Or
complicated, extremely complicated, and I
yeah.
appreciate your analogies. And you're right. What's the deciding factor? Who's controlling this? And is it global policy or is it geographic policy? Can they even control it by geo?
Or
It's
maybe it's company policy. Think about company policy.
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
In the company, even in a company, you need a different responsibility set for AI, I guess, in the future.
yep, yep.
So I guess there soon will be jobs like this, like making sure the AI is responsible in the way that my company wants to have it.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
And but I guess it's that in Germany, remember in Italy they banned ChatGPT this year for some months because they were scared of it. But
Okay.
now, but after like a couple of months, they allowed it again because they see the big benefit, and it's really the benefit. And I think it's like anything that is new is dangerous in some way, but only dangerous people do the dangerous stuff. Yeah, if you treat it in a good way and you make sure your kids or your followers and friends treat it in a good way, then of course we need to make sure it's improved. And we are just at the beginning. We are
Mhm.
not. It's just started. Yeah, it's just started, and we see the amazing stuff. Yeah, it's like yeah, amazing is right now you only get a response. Think about like you get a certain response of something that you want to ask. Yeah, like uh, how do I plant a tree? Yeah, but I think the next stage of AI is maybe creativity to improve the question you did in the answer they give to you. Yeah, so to provide you with learning even more and advantages. Yeah, and that's something at that point I think that's when it really gets into Terminator scary things like where machines learn how to improve themselves.
Right.
Yeah, but we are not there yet, hopefully.
Hopefully
You
never,
know,
but it could. It could.
correct.
So, all right, so we need to work towards wrapping up. You've shared some really thought-provoking things today. What are just a couple key takeaways for our audience listening in, Seiki?
Yeah, so key takeaways for you should be don't be scared. Whenever I talk to people, most of them are scared and don't try it. Just try it. It's easy. It's a chat prompt. Just ask it questions like you sit right next to your friends, and maybe with. So I discussed this with my friends, and we did some questions together, and it's quite amazing. It's an evening filling stuff that you can take, even make funny stuff out of it. So don't be scared, try it out yourself and use it yourself. Yeah. The second thing is don't believe in everything you get as a response from AI. Yeah, it's just like the real world. Yeah, sometimes it lies to you, and you have to recognize when it lies to you, and just tell them it's wrong. Tell the AI it's wrong, and they excuse themselves. So it's even like a human being answer. Yeah. Third one is allow change. Yeah, our life is changing so quickly. If I think about like what technology did to us in the last 20 years, I guess the pace on improvement will be faster. Yeah, so allow it and try to speed up your own life. Yeah, writing text, as I said. Yeah, formally, if I wrote a text, for example, I wrote an invite letter for a foreigner to invite to Germany. It took me 1.5 minutes to create an invite letter in a nice text using ChatGPT, and then I changed the stuff I wanted, and I even asked what's important to tell them. Yeah, and it created it, and I sent it off, and it was just like very nice. Yeah, and it speeded up because beforehand I did this and it took me like a half an hour to write everything down that I felt it's important. Yeah. And lastly, if you don't use it, try Bing Chat. It's really good. Yeah, because it will change the way you search in the internet, and it's like also a very nice toy to play around for asking questions. Yeah, like yesterday I asked the question how what a green Mediterranean diet is, and then I got into much more detail about like what recipes are there, what can I eat, what can I not eat, yeah, is meat good or bad? And you can ask really anything to the ChatGPT or Bing Chat, and you will get a response that's quite amazing. So try it out. Don't be scared.
That's awesome. Well, I think with that, I just want to thank you again, Siggy, for everything you shared today. I appreciate you being here.
It's a pleasure, Theresa. Thank you.
Yep. And thank you everyone for listening in to our latest edition of Spotlight on Security Tech Insights.